Buenos dias, world, from the San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance. I'm Marco Wendt.
And I'm Rick Schwartz. And we're your hosts for Season 3 of Amazing Wildlife, a show from iHeartRadio Ruby Studio and the global conservation organization behind the San Diego Zoo and the San Diego Zoo Safari Park.
Listen as we dive into the efforts here in San Diego and spotlight the heroes working worldwide to care for the species you know and love.
Listen to Amazing Wildlife on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
For over a decade, Story Collider has brought you hundreds of true personal stories about how science affects our lives. Since March, science has directly affected all of our lives in the form of the global COVID-19 pandemic, probably the most momentous, impactful, and destructive scientific event of our lifetimes. Or, let's hope anyway, top 5 at least. So we at the Story Collider have put together a special series for our podcast called The Stories of COVID-19. Starting November 13th, we will be sharing stories from all across the spectrum of experience of the pandemic. Whether they're stories from the front lines of COVID-19.
All I could think was, oh my God, we are not prepared. This is not okay. We are not okay. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this day after day.
Or the work behind the scenes.
I kept thinking to myself, how lucky is this kid, 6,000 miles away from home, in this place at this time, doing infectious disease research during a pandemic.
As we watch the world around us grind to a halt.
The idea that telescopes across the globe are closed for months is hard to fathom. I start to feel almost unmoored hearing this news.
These are stories about our everyday struggles.
Noontime rolls around and my children say, "Can we have lunch?" And I think, again? I'm going to just make lunch every day now for you, forever?
Our new ways of communicating.
Months into the COVID pandemic, I was embroiled in a video game space dogfight while Twitch streaming with strangers, answering science questions, trying to remain cool and calm.
The decisions that nobody should have to make.
Here I am having to tell them that they can't grieve together as a family. You know, I felt like I was taking something away from them.
And the surprising moments of joy.
I look around to my right and I see it's got to be 20 medical workers coming down the corridor, and they're singing and they're dancing and they're clapping.
And we're so excited to share them with you. In each of our 10 two-part episodes, I'll speak with an expert who can help us make sense of all of this and how these individual stories connect to the bigger picture of our global experience. Join us November 13th at storycollider.org or wherever you listen to podcasts for Story Collider's Stories of COVID-19.